everyone, and I find the advice of 10 off. You know what the code says. Maybe see you. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Are both sides ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ready to bring in the jury? Okay. Well, Mr. Holman. He's checking them in.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to do our appearances, Judge?
Yes, please.
Good morning. My name is Jesse Dreicer. I'm here with my client, Mr. Fernandez, alongside Mr. Hill, Miss Day, and Miss Nepstad.
Thank you. Ms. State.
Morning, Your Honor. Mr. Fuller and Alan Mizrahi on behalf of the state.
All right. Thank you. Come in. All right. Welcome in, members of the jury. Everyone may be seated. All right, welcome back. We are in the fourth day of the trial. To remind you where we are, we had paused Detective
John.
Mr. Detective John's testimony to allow other witnesses to testify with scheduling issues. And so Mr. Dreicer is going to continue his cross-examination. However, before he does and before I ask Detective Johns to come back in, would you all answer out loud? Did everyone follow the communication rules?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's call Detective Johns forward, please. Good morning, Detective. If you could walk all the way forward again. Since we have gone over a night's recess, I'm going to ask that you retake the oath.
Detective, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Make yourself comfortable. All right, you may proceed.
Good morning, Detective.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again.
As well.
All right, because there was a little bit of a gap, I'm going to bring us to February 15th of 2022. That's the day before the homicide of Jared Bridegan.
Okay.
All right. Detective, we talked yesterday about certain dates that you believed had an evidentiary value that you provided to Agent Blythe. Do you recall that?
Yes.
January 5th, January 25th, January 29th, and then another one of those dates. In fact, the next date was February 15th, 2022, right? Okay. Without going into all the specifics, you are familiar with these slides. We've talked about them before, and you worked with the FBI to create these slides, correct?
Yes.
All right. So on this particular day, what you do know is that Mr. Fernandez went in the morning over to the Potomac address, correct?
Correct.
And he stayed there for 20 or 30 minutes and he left, correct?
Correct.
And you have no evidence that on that morning of that day, in fact, you have evidence that Henry Tenon was not there. He was working at Modison Pallets that day.
According to the geolocation, yes.
Sure. And that's what we're working with these maps. We're working with cell site and geolocation, correct?
Correct.
And the geolocation put Henry Tenon at Modest and Pallets and Mr. Fernandez at the home, right?
Yes.
And I'm certainly not going to rehash all the poll camera that I painstakingly went through yesterday, but we know from the poll camera that Mr. Fernandez would go to Potomac in the morning. We saw that several times, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then moving along to slide 35, page 35, you see that, Detective?
Yes.
That shows, again, that Mr. Fernandez on that day went back to the Potomac address, right?
That's correct.
And on that day, again, consistent with what we saw yesterday, that's not inconsistent with other times that we were actually able to see on the poll camera that Mr. Fernandez would go back later in the afternoon, right?
It just shows that he was at the residence at that time.
Twice that day.
Yes.
And I guess to ask a better question, we learned yesterday that is not inconsistent that Mr. Fernandez would go to the rental property 2 times in one day.
Correct.
During both instances on February 15th, you have no evidence that Mr. Fernandez gave anybody a firearm, correct?
No, there's no physical evidence to suggest that.
You have no physical evidence that Mr. Fernandez received a firearm from anybody, correct?
That's correct.
And you have no idea what Mr. Fernandez did while he was at the Potomac address.
Also correct.
You don't know if he was brooming the driveway, bringing construction materials, meeting an air conditioner person. You just don't know.
No.
Okay. Moving along to February 16th, the day of the homicide, okay? You agree that Henry Tenon arrived in, I'm sorry, let me, at the very late hours of February 15th, moving into February 16th, you know that Mr. Fernandez went over to John Biggerstaff's house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this is the one that I talked about briefly yesterday where we don't have to guess what Mr. Fernandez was doing there because he was caught on a video. When I say caught, you found in a cellular download a video of Mr. Fernandez performing a sexual act that was found by your investigative team, correct?
Yes.
So we know at least something that he was doing there that night, correct?
Correct.
You don't have any evidence that he was giving anybody a firearm, meaning Mr. Fernandez giving anybody at that Biggerstaff residence a firearm, do you?
No.
You have no evidence that he was receiving a firearm, do you?
There's no physical evidence of that now.
And on any audio that was recorded, you don't hear anything about a discussion of a firearm, correct?
No.
Moving along to February 16th in the evening on the night of the homicide, you have evidence to believe that Mr. Henry Tenon got into Jax Beach somewhere around 6:25 p.m., right?
That's correct.
And you know that from the Taco Lou surveillance.
Correct.
No. Okay. And this is the night, and we've already heard from Corporal Wallace, but on this night there's surveillance from businesses, correct?
Yes.
There's police surveillance, correct?
Yes.
There's Ring doorbell footage, right?
Yes.
And there's other people's personal security videos that you were able to collect to put into evidence to sort of piece this crime together, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At any point prior to the homicide, do you have any surveillance putting Mr. Fernandez anywhere near that F-150?
No.
You don't have a single eyewitness that says that Mr. Fernandez was in that F-150, do you?
No, there's no eyewitnesses.
And in this case, I think you told the jury on direct examination that there were thousands of Crime Stoppers types tips that came into your agency?
I don't know if the word thousands was used, but there were a lot, a significant amount.
I agree, that wasn't you, but there were thousands, weren't there?
I don't remember the specific number, or there were a lot of them. I don't remember how many.
So we can agree there were a lot.
Yes.
And people would just call you and say, I saw that similar looking truck at Home Depot.
Yes.
And that wasn't much of a lead, right?
No.
But the community was aware that law enforcement was looking for evidence associated with a blue two-tone Ford F-150, right?
It would seem like there were at least some portion of the community that was aware, yes.
Right. And that's why they would call to give you information, correct?
Yes.
And there's not a single witness that's going to take the stand who called Crime Stoppers and said, I saw a person matching Mr. Fernandez's description in that F-150 that night, correct?
That's correct.
And there's not a single person that said, I saw an F-150 similar to that description parked near Mr. Fernandez's residence that night, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to show you now State's Exhibit 91. See that? I just need one moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
Thank you. While we're looking for a video that the state's put into evidence, the Ford F-150 was caught on Jack's Beach surveillance prior to the homicide, correct?
Yes.
And it's driving right past the police station toward the area of Pablo Hamlet, correct?
That's correct.
And because it's prior to the homicide, we know it's around 7 p.m. when that happens. We'll see the exact time in a moment, but it's around 7, right?
Correct.
Okay. And this is Jack's Beach on a Wednesday night, early in the evening, right?
Yes.
There are people walking on the sidewalks.
The area where the truck was is not a super populated area. It's kind of, but there were people walking on the sidewalks.
Okay, let's look at it. Take your time. I'm showing you what's been already placed into evidence as Exhibit 91. You're familiar with this particular clip, aren't you, Detective Johns?
Yes, sir.
Okay, push play. You say the blue truck passed by?
Yes, sir.
And just in that one tiny clip, did you see 7 people walking on the sidewalk that passed that truck?
I didn't count how many people, but there were people walking by.
Did you take my word for it that there were 7?
Seems about 7 people.
There was a group in front, then there was another group, and then there was a jogger, right?
Yes.
And they were walking within, 10 or 15 feet of that truck, correct?
Yes.
So no reason to believe that at that night, at that time, it wasn't like, well, no one reported it because no one saw that blue truck. Plenty of people, by just that small clip, had their eyes on that truck, whether they were paying attention or not, correct?
I can't say what they were or were not looking at.
You can say, though, that that truck passed people in Jack's Beach that evening.
Yes, it did.
You can say from your many, many years as a patrol officer and a detective in Jack's Beach that Jack's Beach on a Wednesday at around 6:50 is an active area.
Yes, it is.
There's dog parks that are open, right?
I think they close when the sun goes down and it's pretty dark at that moment.
Maybe so. That area has parks and baseball fields and sidewalks, and there's private businesses and gyms and bowling alleys. That's the area that we're talking about, right?
The area that you're referring to, yes. The area, this is a little bit, west of that.
And maybe a few hundred yards. I'm talking about that area.
Yes.
Okay. At the scene, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I think I've asked you, there's no physical evidence that puts Mr. Fernandez at that scene.
No, there's not.
There's no DNA,
No.
no eyewitnesses,
No.
no surveillance.
No.
Now, you do know that Mr. Fernandez is home at midnight because law enforcement went to his house around midnight and he was there.
Yes.
No dispute as to that fact.
No.
And you have no evidence that Mr. Fernandez was ever outside of his home after 5:45 p.m. on the night of the homicide, correct?
Do you mind if I check my timesheet real quick?
Sure. You can check it. Any piece of evidence that you think will help establish that Mr. Fernandez was outside of his home after 5:45 p.m.
There is no physical evidence that puts him outside of his home.
Now let's talk about Henry Tenon for a moment. He gets to Jax Beach around 6:25, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to try to simplify this, but if you think I'm oversimplifying it, please tell me, and I'll direct you to your notes where we can really pin this down. So we're going to talk about Henry Tenon's phones. You're familiar with Henry Tenon's phones?
Yes.
That was a big part of your investigation?
Yes.
Henry Tenon, for whatever reason, he had 4 phones, correct?
That's correct.
And one of the phones was associated with a number that he gave to his daughter that was on his plan, correct?
Yes.
And we can assume for the purposes of this conversation that doesn't really have any evidentiary value to this case, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Then there's another phone that Mr. Tenon gave to his girlfriend, or I guess, can we call Peanut his girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. And Peanut's name is Janie Deal,
Yes.
but she goes by Peanut.
That's correct.
And in this case, Peanut had one of the phones. That's what your investigative efforts led you to believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's some evidence in this case that Mr. Tenon calls Peanut on the night of the homicide, right?
Yes.
So different than the daughter, there is some connection that we can talk about with Mr. Tenon and Peanut, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
All right, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Mr. Tenon, on the night of the homicide, you know he brought with him 2 phones, or at least there were 2 phones with him when he came into Jax Beach and past Taco Lou, right?
Yes.
All right. And this is where I'm going to try to simplify it. You know, by way of looking at the phones, and each phone has a unique identification number, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you were able to determine that one phone with one unique identification number stayed with Mr. Tenon on the night of the homicide, correct?
Yes.
And we refer to that phone as Tenon 2, correct?
Correct.
All right. And just to give the jury some idea how you were to do that investigative effort, because that unique identification number to the Tenon 2 phone had geolocation, right?
Yes.
And because you were able to match up Mr. Tenon walking that night on surveillance, you were able to determine by the times of the surveillance, looking at the surveillance, and then looking at the cell phone that Mr. Tenon was in possession of Tenon 2.
Yes, that's correct.
Then, the other phone, Tenon 1, right?
Yes.
You were able to determine that had a different and unique identification number, right?
Correct.
And you know that during that night that those 2 phones separated, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. No dispute as to that.
No.
And the reason that we know that is because after the homicide, Tenon 2 would call Tenon 1, correct?
Yes.
Sometimes the phones appear.
Excuse me.
Take your time. You need a second? Some
Okay.
water?
No.
At some point, you know that they separated by way of geolocation, correct?
Yes.
And then you know that Tenon 2 called Tenon 1 post the homicide, right?
That's correct.
And common sense would tell us you wouldn't call the 2 phones if they weren't together, right?
Correct.
Okay. And in this particular case, you also were to determine that Tenon 2 and Tenon 1 were separated by way of geolocation, right?
That's correct.
At one point, you know that Tenon 2, around 9:15, is over by the police station because we see Tenon walking by the police station, right?
That's correct.
And you can match that with the geolocation because the phone was turned on at that moment, right?
Yes.
And at that exact time, you have previously said that you believe Tenon 1 was somewhere pinging over by Mojo's, correct?
In the area of Mojo's or Pablo Hamlet area.
Okay.
I'll let Agent Blythe get into the specifics of that because there can be variations.
Fair enough. But the one thing you know, and Corporal Wallace has previously testified to, is that Pablo Hamlet had surveillance all the time, right?
Yes, it does.
And you don't have any surveillance of the Ford F-150 at Pablo Hamlet anytime around 9:15, correct?
There is some surveillance of the truck coming back to Pablo Hamlet, and then it moves into what we believe is the gravel parking lot. But after that, no.
Well, let's break that down. You know that the phone, excuse me, not the phone, the truck pulls into Pablo Hamlet at approximately 8 p.m., correct?
I'm just going to refer to my sheet real here.
Please.
Yep, exactly 8 p.m.
Right. And then it pulls right out, correct?
It pulls forward. I wouldn't say that it pulls out.
It goes out of frame. It drives
It does
down.
go out of frame, yes.
I mean, it drives all the way until you can't see it anymore.
That's correct.
So when I said it pulls out of Pablo Hamlet. It's no longer at Pablo Hamlet. It's no longer by the smoking pavilion. It's no longer in that little cul-de-sac. It is no longer by that retirement house.
Correct.
And at that point, you have no idea where that blue truck went.
We have some idea, but we don't know where it went from the next place.
You don't have it on surveillance, according to Corporal Wallace. You disagree with Corporal Wallace?
I wasn't here for his testimony.
Okay, I'm going to represent to you that he told the jury that he does not know where the truck went after it pulled out of Pablo Hamlet. And the jury will, if I'm saying it truthfully, the jury will determine whether that was said or not said.
Okay. I'll sustain it.
Can you show me where the truck went after 8 p.m., Detective Johns?
It appears to me that the truck makes a right into the gravel lot at the Discovery School on the last frame.
Let's watch that. This may take a second because I wasn't expecting to do that. I'd like to watch it with you. Pause it. Hey, Detective Johns, you see this video?
Yes, sir.
The record, this was part of States 91, the compilation video, and it's also in evidence. It's part of 91, and it's also in evidence as an individual clip. I just can't reference it, Judge. I'll put that on the record later.
Okay.
This is not an unfamiliar video to you.
No, sir.
This is the exact video we were just talking about. 203. Thank you, Ms. Stifler. Okay, but nonetheless, that's for the record. You know this video.
Yes, sir.
And just to refresh the jury's recommendation, we both have been talking that the truck returned at 8 p.m., but you and I both know, and the jury's heard before, that the Pablo Hamlet camera appears to be about 17 minutes fast.
That's correct.
We both agree to that.
Yes.
So when the video clip I'm showing you is from 2/16/2022 at 8/16/25, this would be right around 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's push play. While we're waiting for the truck to pull in, Detective, can you see a gravel lot anywhere in this video?
No, you cannot.
So the gravel lot that you're telling me that you think you can see the truck pull into, you acknowledge you cannot see in this video.
That's correct. You cannot.
Okay. Okay, Detective, do you see the truck?
Yes, sir.
That's the truck you believe is the truck that Mr. Tenon, that he owned, or his father owned, the F-150?
That's correct.
It appears to turn around and drive away. And then you see it make a right-hand turn and go out of frame, and it's moving, correct?
That's correct.
You never see that truck stop, correct?
No, you don't.
So when you just told the jury that you think it went up and it pulled into a gravel rock road, you've acknowledged you can't see a gravel rock road in the video, right?
That's correct.
And you just acknowledged that you never saw that truck stop, correct?
That's correct.
So you have no idea if that truck stopped in a gravel road.
I think based upon where...
All right, re-ask it, okay?
Okay, so it's okay. I don't have he answered my question.
I'm not sure if they heard. That's why I'm asking you re-ask it.
My question was, you can't see a gravel rock driveway in the video, correct, Detective Johns?
No, you cannot see it in the video.
And you never see the Ford F-150 stop in the video, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. At some point, Tenon 1 and Tenon 2, the two phones turn back on.
Yes.
And when they do, they're both back near the Potomac address.
That's correct.
So reason to believe that whoever was with Tenons 1 and 2, they go back to Potomac. Well, the phones go back to Potomac. I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it. That's where, at some point in time, Tenon 1 and Tenon 2 are in Jack's Beach. We agreed on that.
Correct.
Tenon 1 and Tenon 2 separated. We agreed on that, correct?
Correct.
And then sometime later in the night, you tell me, I think it's around 11, Tenon 1 and Tenon 2 appear to be back in the Potomac area.
Correct.
But you know that Mario Fernandez is home after 11 because law enforcement saw him there, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't have a single shred of evidence to believe that Mr. Fernandez ever was at Potomac that night?
No.
You did speak with Ms. Bridegan that night at the police station?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This was not recorded.
That's correct.
You did tell the jury a couple days ago that everyone's a suspect until they're not a suspect, correct?
That's correct.
There is no way for you to know whether Ms. Bridegan was a suspect at that point in time when you spoke to her.
You're right, correct.
And yet you chose just not to record it because you told the jury I was giving her bad news, so I didn't think we should do that, essentially, right?
That's correct.
Okay. When you spoke to the Bridegan brothers, you recorded those interviews, correct?
Yes.
They were audio recorded and video recorded.
Yes.
On the night of the homicide, you did inquire as to whether Ms. Bridegan had life insurance on Mr. Bridegan?
I don't remember that. It was that evening, but yes, we did ask.
Okay. And you found out that Ms. Bridegan benefited.
Grounds. Let me see you at sidebar for if you have a response.
Madam Court Reporter. through your investigation, you learned that Ms. Bridegan did receive life insurance, correct?
Yes.
And that was important for you to determine what that was because you were trying to investigate and find out any and all information you could about this homicide. Fair enough?
Yes.
You didn't just speak to Ms. Bridegan that night at the police station. You spoke to her many, many times throughout this investigation, correct?
That's correct.
And regardless of what you were talking about, life insurance, her location, anything that you were investigating, you never one time did it in a recorded or videotaped setting.
The only time she was ever at the police station in the soft room was the first night. Every other time we ever met with her, it would have been out in the field or it would have been through a phone call.
Because maybe that's where you chose to meet her. That was a decision you all made. When you asked Mr. Fernandez to come in, you asked him to come into the police station, right?
Yes.
You asked him to come into a room that had a couch and a camera in it, right?
Yes.
You controlled that setting. You and Detective Lamont, right?
We asked him to come in and he agreed.
And you turned the camera on.
Yes.
You could have turned the camera on when you met with Ms. Bridegan if you asked her to come to the police station, right?
Correct.
She was cooperative with your investigation, is what you said, right?
Yes.
So if you asked her to come to the police station, you have no reason to believe she wouldn't have.
No.
Then you could have asked your questions in a recorded room if you wanted to, right?
Yes.
And you didn't in this case.
No.
All right, I'm going to move to October 6, 2022. We're going to make a big jump. That's the day that the Potomac Avenue home was searched by law enforcement, correct?
Yes.
All right. Can I get some help with these boots, Mr. Hill? Grab them. Can I?
You want to set them somewhere?
Can I sit them on top of the tire?
Yes.
Thank you. You okay with that, Madam? I mean, Your Honor?
Yes.
Blocking the court board.
Ms. Simpkins, are you okay?
It's okay. I'm going to find a spot for him.
Mr. Holman, can we use that table over there? Okay.
Is this okay, Alan, or is it blocking you? Here we go. We'll get to it. Those boots were found at the Potomac address.
Yes.
Those boots don't have any DNA on them, do they?
I'm sure they might have some somewhere.
All right, let me ask a better question. You can't associate those boots with anything at the crime scene, correct?
Correct.
It's just that you think that maybe those were the boots that Mr. Tenon was wearing when you look at that grainy surveillance. That's how you came up with the fact that those could be the boots, correct?
They appear to match the boots in the video.
Just so the jury's clear, it's all the videos that they've seen of Mr. Henry Tenon walking through Jack's Beach.
Sorry?
It's the videos that the jury has already seen of Henry Tenon walking through Jack's Beach. That's the videos that you're relying on to determine that those are the boots, correct?
Yes, sir.
You never found a footprint that you could match to the bottom or the soles of those boots to say, yep, those match the boots that we framed and put before this jury, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. There's no biological evidence like Mr. Bridegan's blood on those boots, correct?
Correct.
There's no biological evidence that you guys decided to frame this jacket that connects this jacket to the homicide scene, correct? Or this sweatshirt?
Correct.
Okay. And the reason I said jacket is because originally you guys, law enforcement and your investigators, you framed another jacket.
Right. Okay. I'm going to ask that you step into the jury room for about, I'd say about 5-10 minutes, okay? All right, please let the record reflect that the jury has left the courtroom. Everyone may be seated. All right, Detective, Mr. Dreicer is going to ask you a series of questions. It's called a proffer. That means that this line of question may or may not go in front of the jury. So if the court rules that it's admissible, you may have to answer them again, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Dreicer, you may proceed.
Detective Johns, did you help in the preparation of the state's case and getting prepared for trial?
To what degree?
You met with the state, you went over your questions, talked about the evidence?
Yes.
Yeah. And in this case, there was a wax canvas jacket, like a welder's jacket or something?
Yes.
That was that jacket was originally framed, correct?
I actually never saw that.
You don't know that there was a welder's jacket that was framed?
No.
You never went into the conference room and saw that?
The only exhibits I have seen in the conference room or that I recall seeing are the ones that are here.
And no one ever told you, or you never participated in the preparation of choosing the welder's jacket to be framed over this sweater?
No.
No further questions, Judge.
Any questions by the state? Let me see you all at sidebar. Mr. Holman, can you see if the jury is ready to come back in? Can y'all move that jacket, please? Oh, you are? Okay. It was leaned up against it. I don't want them walking in with the evidence leaned up against it. So put it wherever you want it. It's not on.
It wasn't in a good spot, but I am still using it.
All right.
Thanks, Alan. Oh, trash can kick. And DUIs, I count on the prosecutors doing that. What? Right there's fine. What's wrong with that? Oh.
Thank you. Don't put it back there. It's in the way of like walking towards the stand, okay?
You should have let you pull up the photos. Let's go over the boots. The jacket's up. Just use the jacket.
It doesn't. It's just as easy.
Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone. Everyone may be seated. Mr. Dreicer.
Detective Johns, can we agree that, again, this particular sweatshirt was found at Potomac?
Yes.
This particular sweatshirt you believe, by looking at the same video that's been submitted into evidence to this jury, you can identify this particular jacket by looking at that particular surveillance video?
Yes.
And you feel confident that looking at that, you can determine it's this particular sweatshirt?
The video seems to match the jacket that is there.
Jacket.
You should also know that that sweatshirt was found on the ground.
Can you see that jacket?
Yes, sir.
That was also found at Potomac?
Yes, it was.
And you believe you can definitively tell from looking at that surveillance that it's not that jacket, it's that jacket?
I believe that to be the jacket that was in the video surveillance.
Just so we're clear, it's only because you look at it. That's the only way you believe it. You have no other evidence to believe that that's the jacket.
No.
Let's look at some boots. These boots were found at Potomac?
Yes.
And you believe by looking at the surveillance video that's in evidence that you can tell it's those boots that are framed and not these boots?
Certainly not those boots.
You don't think it's those boots?
No.
Okay, let me show you another pair of boots that was found. How about these boots? Could it be these boots?
I don't believe so.
Why don't you believe so?
If you look at him walking and you see the tongue of the flap of the boots, it's more consistent with those boots versus the ones that are on the screen.
And I just want to make sure when you're talking about the analysis that you're doing, you're looking at the video that's been submitted in evidence. There's no other videos that you're looking at.
There's no other videos.
And you can tell by the tag of those boots different from the tag of these boots.
Tongue. I'm talking about the tongue.
Tongue of those boots compared to the tongue of these boots. That's your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Let me show you another pair of boots. Go into the car. One boot that was found is one of the boots that the government framed, right?
Yes.
But it's next to another pair of boots that were found at Potomac because they're found in the exact same spot, correct?
That's correct.
And you can tell that it's not those boots.
I don't believe them to be those boots, no.
And so the record's clear. There's a pair of a black boot next to the boot that's framed in the courtroom.
That's correct.
Okay, let me show you another pair of boots. When Mr. Tenon's vehicle was recovered, you see those boots?
Yes.
And you don't believe those could be the boots?
No.
And why don't you believe those could be the boots, Detective? They're the same color, roughly tan construction boots, correct?
Yes.
They were found in Mr. Tenon's vehicle that you guys believe is associated with Mr. Tenon, the Ford F-150, right?
Yes, sir.
These boots have a long tongue, just like the boots in the courtroom, correct?
Kind of hard to see the tongue in the photo.
Can you see the tongue in this
Yes.
long tongue?
Yes.
It's just not folded out like the ones that are framed in the courtroom, correct?
That's correct.
And it's still your testimony that you think, looking at that video that's been given to the jury, that you can tell that those are the boots and that's the jacket by looking at the surveillance in which has been submitted to this jury.
Those boots are most consistent with what the video shows.
Consistent with, but not necessarily the exact ones, correct?
I can't say for certain they're the exact boots.
Mr. Dreicer, when you're referring to the photos, if you could say the exhibit number.
Yes, I'm sorry. I've been referring to a sweatshirt type jacket with you during my testimony, Detective Johns, that I'm holding that is can I just pull it out? States 128. the boots are,
I think it's a little drawer there at the bottom.
I'll just look at the list. If you just give me a
It
minute.
just pulls out there at the bottom.
Pulls out.
They're not, sorry.
This.
Thought it did.
Oh, I don't want to mess your evidence. I see the bag. I just don't want to mess it up. 129. For the record, the boots that we've been discussing that I keep saying are in the courtroom versus the other boots are 129. We can agree with that. Right?
Yes.
It's on the base of that, Mr. Dreicer. It's on the base that you took it off of.
Base. And in 168, this is the box, a box of boots that were found at Potomac, correct?
Yes.
And you're certain that this box goes to those boots? They weren't found in this box, right?
I cannot say definitely that those are the same exact boots that go in the box.
And actually, if you know this, it's my understanding that this box was not found where those boots were found. Those boots were found at Potomac, and this box was found in the Ford F-150.
Yes.
So it would be more consistent with the photo of the boots that I showed you in the F-150, because that's where the box was found, correct?
Those boots don't seem to match the picture on the box, but I'm not a shoe expert.
You're not a shoe expert?
No.
Okay. Hold on. And then lastly, I want to show you another jacket that was found at Potomac. Can you see that, Detective?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's another jacket that was found over by Henry Tenon's belongings.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you a better picture. And I showed you Defense Exhibit 11, which is the green camo jacket, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. And this would be another jacket found where Mr. Tenon's belongings were, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And the tan jacket that I showed you earlier, which is Exhibit 12, that was found where Henry Tenon's belongings were in the garage, correct?
That jacket was found in the garage.
In the garage.
Mr. Orway indicated that that was his father's welded jacket.
Oh, okay. But you guys still collected it for evidence?
Yes.
And you bagged it and tagged it and you brought it over?
Yes.
Okay. Even though you knew that day that it wasn't connected with Henry Tenon at all?
He called back later and asked if he could have the jacket back. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay. But the sweatshirt that's framed in this courtroom was not found in the garage. It was found hanging in a closet inside the house where none of Mr. Tenon's belongings were, correct?
Mr. Tenon did have some items inside the house. Most of his stuff was in the garage.
But that particular jacket was hanging up in a closet.
Yes.
And that's State Defense Exhibit 13A, the jacket not found in the garage, found in the closet, correct?
According to this photo, yes.
Well, who took this photo? I didn't take it, Detective.
Neither did I.
Someone from your law enforcement agency took it, right?
Yes.
An evidence technician.
Yes.
Can you see anything else in that closet besides that jacket?
No.
Can you identify one other piece of evidence that would associate that jacket with Henry Tenon
I don't understand.
in that picture?
No.
On October 7th of 2022, you conducted a controlled call.
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what a controlled call is?
Control call is when we have someone make a telephone call to another person without their knowledge that it's being recorded.
And you had Jeremy Ordway call.
You want to be heard?
I need a moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
rephrase the question.
Okay.
You found no evidentiary value in that phone call?
No, sir, we did not.
I'm going to move your attention to October 14th of 2022. That's when the blue truck was located?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that blue truck was located at Jimmy Jones's house, correct?
Yes, sir.
That was a friend of Henry Tenon,
That's correct.
not a friend of Mr. Fernandez.
No.
You have no evidence that Mr. Fernandez was ever at Jimmy Jones's house.
No.
Although Mr. Fernandez owned several rental properties in town, he did not own Mr. Jones's house.
No, we did not.
And while I'm pulling up some photos of that house, that home was never searched.
No, it wasn't.
So although the biggest break in the case was found, which is the blue truck, right?
Yes?
At a location that Mr. Tenon went to, because it was Mr. Tenon's friend, right?
That's correct.
You still had not recovered and have never recovered a firearm in this case, correct?
Correct.
You never searched that house.
No, we did not.
Never went inside.
No.
Never looked to see if there was a 10 millimeter in that home.
No.
I'm showing you, is it defense or state? Defense 56A. That's a photo of Mr. Jones's home.
Yes, sir.
That's where the blue truck was parked.
That's correct.
That blue truck has evidence in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Evidence was found at Jimmy Jones's home, correct?
The truck was found at his home. No other evidence.
Well, you didn't look in the house, so you don't know, right?
There was no reason to search his house.
Other than the fact that the biggest break in the case was found at Jimmy Jones's house. Other than that, there was no reason to search the house.
We had records stating that the truck showed up at his house several months after the homicide. There was no reason to search the residence.
Several months after the homicide, you hadn't found the firearm, right?
And there was nothing that pointed to Mr. Jones as a possible suspect.
But it pointed to Henry Tenon, right?
Yes,
And you did have evidence that Henry Tenon was at Jimmy Jones's house, correct?
that's correct.
You have evidence that Mr. Tenon chose to park the truck, which was the truck used in the ambush at Jimmy Jones's house, correct?
He asked after the truck was not operable, Mr. Tenon asked if he could have the truck towed there.
Right. And what you don't know is if Mr. Tenon said, hey, can you stash this 10 millimeter in your closet for me? You don't know that.
No,
And if he did ask, it could have been in his closet when he dropped the truck off, right?
I don't think that's true based upon, there's no evidence that suggests that that is true.
There is no evidence to suggest, because we agree that you never searched the house, right?
That's correct.
And had you gone in and had you found a 10 millimeter, there would be evidence, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Had you gone in and searched the home, there would be evidence that there wasn't a firearm, or there would be evidence that there was a firearm. But we just don't know today, right?
We did not search the house.
On February 8th of 2023, you pulled Mr. Fernandez over in a traffic stop, correct?
There was a traffic stop, yes,
And he was not arrested on February 8th.
that's correct.
You pulled him over because you guys got a warrant to get his cell phone device,
That's correct.
okay? And when you pulled him over, he was cooperative?
Yes,
He gave you the cell phone?
yes,
It was without incident.
correct.
You found no other evidence associated with this crime in his truck.
Correct.
You didn't find any large amounts of cash.
No,
You didn't find any disguises.
no,
You didn't find any additional passports.
no,
Nothing to suggest that he was on the run or he was attempting to flee.
no,
And in this particular case, he gave you the cell phone and he went on his way.
that's correct.
And you know that that cell phone, by way of your forensic investigation, is not the same cell phone that was used or that Mr. Fernandez owned on February 16th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
So it's a totally separate device.
Yes,
It had been about just short of a year by a few days when you collected the device from Mr. Fernandez via that warrant that we just talked about, right?
correct.
Not unusual that a person could get a new phone over the course of a year, correct?
No,
It's not as if you stopped him like a week later and all of a sudden he had a new phone. It was a year later and Mr. Fernandez had a new phone.
correct.
And then ultimately, you arrested Mr. Fernandez, and he had another phone, but that makes sense because you took his other phone, right?
Correct.
You didn't even search the new phone because it had been so long and it was such a brief period of time. Is that my understanding?
Correct.
And when you arrested him, he didn't flee?
No,
He was cooperative?
I wasn't there during his arrest, so I can't say whether he was or wasn't.
Anybody report to you that he was uncooperative?
No,
It's on body camera?
I believe so.
You agree that Mr. Fernandez had moved to Orlando to live with his brother on, I don't know when, but he was arrested in March, and at some point before that he had moved, correct?
Yes,
The Marsh Inlet home had been sold.
that's correct.
Miss Gardner had already moved to Washington.
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez was not hiding out in Orlando, right?
No,
The news media had taken pictures of him in his driveway. Everyone knew he was in Orlando if you wanted to know, correct?
correct.
And in fact, at some point, you guys put a tracking device on Mr. Fernandez's car, correct?
Yes,
You knew exactly where it was.
that's correct.
And you have nothing to offer this jury that he was leaving or attempting to flee or anything of that nature. He was just living with his brother in Orlando.
That's correct.
Never switched his vehicle or his car.
No,
And then, of course, the day you got arrested, both days, let me just back up. The day you stopped him for his phone, he didn't know he was going to be stopped, right?
that's correct.
And the day he got arrested, he didn't know he was going to be stopped, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't find any large amounts of cash, correct?
On the when he was arrested?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
It would have been reported to you if he had like $100,000 in cash, right?
I'm sure it would have been.
If he had an additional passport that didn't match his name or identification, you would have learned that, right?
Most likely.
And of course, you didn't learn that.
No,
You didn't learn that he had any disguises or wigs or anything like that.
no,
He didn't have like a go bag in his car where if I had to find out that I was going to be arrested, I could jump on a plane and go with him.
I don't recall anyone mentioning a go bag.
Well, that would be good evidence if you found him with a go bag, right? Law enforcement would have been interested in that.
Yes.
And there's no evidence to suggest that he had a go bag.
No.
And lastly, I understand you're going to come back and you're going to talk about financial records, so I'll ask you about those later. But for today, you put up poll cameras at Marsh Inlet.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, we talked about poll cameras at Potomac.
Correct.
Nothing in all of the thousands or hundreds, thousands of hours that were recorded on the poll cameras at Marsh Inlet, you found nothing of evidentiary value.
No.
You never saw Henry Tenon go to Marsh Inlet, the residence of Miss Gardner or Mr. Fernandez.
No. The poll cams were put up after that.
Well, the poll cameras were put up when you chose to put them up, but nonetheless, there was no evidentiary value of anything that you discovered at Marsh Inlet.
There was no evidentiary value that came from the poll cameras.
But you put them up for a reason so that you could try to collect evidence. That was the reason you put it up, right?
Partially, yes.
May I just have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect?
Yes, sir. Probably about 20 minutes.
Okay. The jurors, you're good, right? We just came back. Okay. Sure.
While Ms. Day is finishing getting set up, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Detective Johns, I have an exhibit I want to show you. Mr. Dreicer mentioned this yesterday. And for the record, I'm marking this as States 9B. Can you take a look through these 3 pieces of paper? Composite 9B.
While he's doing that, can we move those boots from Mr. Holman's table?
Detective, when you're done looking at them, let me know if you recognize them. Thank you.
Yes, I do.
And what do you recognize those to be?
These are license plate readers of the Ford F-150.
And are these license plate reader records that you received in conjunction with this investigation?
Yes, these were received from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office.
And they're fair and accurately and kept in the regular course of business within law enforcement?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would seek to introduce, without objection from defense, state's composite 9B is the next numbered exhibit. I think it's 211.
Mr. Hathaway, is it 211?
210?
All right. Is there any objection?
No, we just stopped talking about that stipulate.
Okay, so that'll be so entered, 210.
All right, Detective Johns. I know you've been on the stand a long time. I've got a couple follow-up questions for you based on what defense asked. The first thing I want to ask about is one of the last things we ended on, which is those boots and that jacket. In considering whether those are the boots and jacket you observed on video, did you also consider the physical appearance of those items when you collected them?
Yes, we did.
Does that include the size of the items?
Yes.
Mr. Dreicer showed you a picture of a welding jacket that you believe to belong to Mr. Ordway's father. Can you describe for the jury the size of that jacket?
It would have been significantly too small to fit Mr. Tenon.
And that's based on your personal observations of Mr. Tenon. We saw body cam footage of him yesterday. Can you describe his height and general build?
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Dreicer asked you about not recording Kirsten Bridegan when you were telling her that her husband had been killed. And you testified on direct that you did so because you were giving someone bad news.
We were making a death notification of a wife, so we decided not to record it. And that was the only reason we decided not to record it.
When Detective Burrell and Detective Lamont went to the home of Mario Fernandez and Shanna Gardner on the night of Jared's death to notify them of his death, did they record that interaction with them?
No, they did not.
And is that for the same reasons you did not record your interaction with Mrs. Bridegan?
Yes.
Mr. Dreicer asked you about court filings in the family court case. And I'm not going to go through them at length or pull them up, but there were several filings that were written by Ms. Gardner's attorneys, correct?
Yes.
And in those documents, there was discussion about Mr. Bridegan and some statements that the jury can look at later that Mr. Bridegan was uprooting them and insisting the husband can't have timeshare. And you kept saying that is what the document says.
Correct.
Those are Ms. Gardner's words or her attorney's words, correct?
That's correct.
Do you have any way of knowing whether what she says in those statements is the truth or not?
No.
Documents are written by lawyers.
That's correct.
You sat through litigation in this case, and you know that there's a lot of filings, but a lot of action happens in the courtroom or in the halls of the courtroom that is separate from filings.
Correct.
So the docket may not necessarily reflect the tone and tenor of what's going on when they show up at court.
Correct.
Or I'll rephrase. I'm going to move to a PowerPoint. I'm going to start with the cell site slides that Mr. Dreicer asked you about. And you used cell site mapping to further your investigation, but are you an expert in cell site analysis?
No, I'm not.
Should I ask Agent Blythe these questions in more detail?
I'd be happy to try to answer them in the same manner that I did for Mr. Dreicer.
I want to ask you about two of the slides. This one, January 29th, which is page 19 of State's Exhibit 182. And I understand you're not an expert, but based on your investigation and your... Oh, sorry. So based on your review of this slide, does it appear there is some period of time in which Mr. Tenon and Mr. Fernandez devices overlap in the same area?
How many of chat do you approach the court?
Yes. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Johns, I'm not asking for an expert opinion by any means. Just in general, does this slide, in your estimation, show that there's some time where Mr. Fernandez and Mr. Tenon could have overlapped in the same geographic area?
Yes,
And that's on January 29th, 2022.
that's correct.
And then another slide from January 29th, 2022. This is page 32 of State's Exhibit. We can see here as well, does it appear, at least just generally, that Mr. Tenon's geolocation data and Mr. Fernandez's cell phone are in the same geographic area for some period of time?
Yes,
And I'm asking you these because Mr. Dreicer went through these slides with you at length. This one is February 15th. This shows, and Mr. Dreicer asked you some questions about this, that Mr. Fernandez was, or at least his device, was in the area of 5239 Potomac Avenue for approximately, I would say, 27 minutes.
yes.
And it appears at some point that, I'm sorry, I have the wrong slide, hang on. Here we go. February 15th in the evening, for a little less than an hour, and a portion of this time, would you agree with me, or can you state with some confidence that Mr. Tenon's device and Mr. Fernandez's device appear to be in the same geographic area for some period of time?
Yes,
Now, in February 16th, 2022, Mr. Tenon was obviously driving that blue two-tone Ford F-150.
yes.
I want to ask you about the license plate reader report that you just identified for the record. It's a light not on. Is this the license plate reader report for St. Johns County for the vehicle registered to Henry Tenon?
Yes, it is.
When you get a license plate reader report, does it include a photograph of the vehicle attached to the license plate, or that
Yeah.
the license plate's attached to?
Yes, it does.
And in this license plate reader report, we see that Mr. Tenon's vehicle was in the vicinity of Northeast A1A and Ponte Vedra Lake Boulevard on January 29th, 3:37 p.m.
That's correct.
And in this picture, we can see that the tag is indeed attached to that blue two-tone Ford F-150.
Yes,
And that same date, we have another license plate reader from the same area, January 29th at 2:46 p.m., Racetrack Road in US 1. And a photograph here, we can see the tag is attached to Mr. Tenon's blue two-tone Ford F-150 vehicle.
yes,
And here we can see, again, January 29th, 2:45, at Greenleaf Drive, Northeast Valley Ridge Boulevard and Greenleaf Drive. And that is, again, the two-tone truck.
yes.
In any of these license plate reader reports, was there a photograph of such that you were able to see who was in the vehicle?
No,
Was there a photograph such that you were able to see how many people were in the vehicle?
no,
But this lets us know that Mr. Tenon on January 29th was in his blue two-toned Ford F-150.
Yes.
Mr. Dreicer asked you about the media release of the photograph of the blue two-toned Ford F-150, and your testimony was it was released into the community, and upon questioning from Mr. Dreicer, you admitted that many people in the community, especially Jacksonville Beach, were aware the police were looking for this specific vehicle.
That's correct.
And these slides show that at the time period that Mr. Tenon was driving this vehicle, he overlapped for several significant periods of time at Potomac Avenue with Mr. Tenon while he was in possession of that blue two-tone vehicle.
That's correct.
Did Mr. Fernandez ever tell you during his interview or respond or give a Crime Stoppers tip or tell anyone that he knew his tenant owned a blue two-toned Ford F-150?
No.
I want to talk about your interview with Mr. Fernandez. Mr. Dreicer asked you some questions about statements Mr. Fernandez made about details of the homicide.
Yes.
And do you believe that the media had released information that there had been a tire in the road shortly after Jared Bridegan's death?
I do know a media report was done. I just don't remember the exact date that it was done.
Did you and investigators initially believe that Jared Bridegan had gotten out of his vehicle to move the tire before he was killed?
Yes, we did.
Was that information ever made public?
No.
I'm going to go through State's Exhibit. I may approach.
Yes.
State's Exhibit 91. It's some surveillance video Mr. Dreicer asked you about. And you testified that you believed on the second time that blue truck went to Pablo Hamlet that it pulled into the gravel lot at the Discovery School. Can you explain to me why you believe that?
Just based upon where you see the turning happening, it seems to be too soon to be turning onto the next street. Also, the next street only goes to the police station or the golf course. There's no exit onto a major highway.
This is State's Exhibit 91 that I'm publishing. That is the first time the truck left Pablo Hamlet prior to the homicide. Is that right?
I can't see them on the screen.
Oh, rats. I'm going back and forth between. Get this queued up. All right, so playing at 28:05. Was that the first time the truck left Pablo Hamlet prior to the homicide?
That's correct.
And this time should be actually 8 p.m. That's my fault. We see here the blue truck.
Yes.
And can you explain for the jury, and if you need to mark on the map, the geographic layout of what we just looked at and where this gravel lot is in relation to where 15th Street is and where that truck was pulling out?
So the area that we're,
Hold on, I can zoom in. This is
hold on.
State's Exhibit 208. Sorry, this is the world's worst mouse. All right, I'm gonna leave it like this. We're on 208. Detective, if you could show them what.
So the camera is actually coming from this Pablo Hamlet area. And then basically the gravel lot is about right here, which is basically on the side of the Discovery School.
At the time of this homicide, you've already, or I think someone previously testified, did the Discovery School have video surveillance equipment
They did not.
or working?
Well, they did have it, it just was not working.
Mr. Dreicer showed you what he deemed or described as a business plan of Mr. Tenon. Was that found during the search warrant at the Potomac House?
Yes, it was.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is State's Exhibit 197. And may I publish for the jury?
Yes, you may.
This is a composition notebook. Is this what was collected at Potomac?
Yes.
I'll show everyone the business plan. You all will take this back with you. And I'm showing you the last page. It's page 5 out of 6 with writing on it. And there describes some costs associated with a pallet business, and they are dated. Can you tell me the dates on this business plan?
The cost, or the sheet here is dated March 29th, 2020.
Thank you. Is there any indication during your investigation, through your discussions with Mr. Tenon's coworkers and boss at Monison Pallets, or a review of his financials, or review of that notebook, that he had a business plan in February of 2022?
Okay. All right. Response?
I can rephrase it.
All right. You may.
Did you ever find any evidence that Mr. Tenon had a current business plan in 2022 such that he bought equipment, or had reached out to vendors, or had filed any paperwork with the state?
No, I did not.
Mr. Dreicer asked you whether you had any evidence that John Biggerstaff ever possessed a 10mm firearm. You said no physical evidence. Did you have other evidence in the forms of statements on recorded wires, witness statements that led you to keep investigating Mr. Biggerstaff?
Yes.
Did Mr. Biggerstaff have a gun cabinet still at his home when members of your team went to interview him?
Yes.
Did you speak to a witness, Mr. Fred Barton, in regards to Mr. Biggerstaff's activity with his firearms?
Well, a member of my team did, yes.
Did you receive information from the ATF regarding a police report filed by Mr. Biggerstaff's son, Juan Biggerstaff, regarding the serial number of the 10mm firearm?
Yes.
Did you receive a Google return for John Biggerstaff showing that he had Googled and searched 10mm firearms?
Yes.
And was that on January 25th, 2022?
Yes.
And that is one of the slides that was prepared for you by Agent Blythe, indicates that on January 25th, 2022, that Mr. Fernandez was in the vicinity of Mr. Biggerstaff's residence.
That's correct.
Detective Johns, when you're asked by Mr. Dreicer whether you have evidence of a specific conclusion, I guess, and you say no physical evidence, can you explain to the jury how it is you look at your investigation? Is it piece by piece? Can you describe to them how you view the evidence when making your determination of how to proceed as a homicide detective?
There's certain things that are a one-off or a conclusion, but a favorite cop term is a totality of the circumstances. So you look at everything, you can't explain things through maybe one little piece, but when you start looking at a big picture and you look at everything together, that is when you can start developing evidence that all kind of comes together and makes sense versus a one-off thing that maybe by itself doesn't mean much.
One of the last things Mr. Dreicer asked you was in regards to the recovery of the blue truck at 1705 University Street where Mr. Jones lives.
Yes.
Mr. Dreicer asked you that there is no evidence to suggest it's not true that firearm could be at Mr. Jones' house. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
Did you receive information during your investigation in 2023 that the firearm, in this case, was disposed of?
Yes.
And therefore not at Mr. Jones' house?
Correct.
No further questions.
Right. Mr. Dreicer.
Let's go in reverse order. Juan Biggerstaff, John Biggerstaff's son, is going to testify. Well, he's a listed witness. You know that.
Yes, sir.
And I don't think I heard you. When the state asked you where this gun was disposed of, it was Texas?
No. She didn't say that. She just asked if it was disposed of.
Are you talking about when Juan Biggerstaff, she asked you, wrote down the serial number of the 10mm firearm in Texas? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Who disposed, you don't know who disposed of the firearm, correct? You don't have the firearm.
I do not have the firearm.
What she did ask you about was a serial number of a firearm that matched the description which Juan Biggerstaff, John Biggerstaff's son, reported stolen in Texas, correct?
Yes.
Mario Fernandez had nothing to do with that, correct?
As far as I know, no.
He didn't file the police report, right?
No.
He wasn't located in Texas, right?
No.
And then you learned that Juan Biggerstaff said he made a mistake and he wrote down the wrong serial number, right?
Yes.
Okay. The gun cabinet, that was evidence that you just suggested to the jury could be not physical evidence that John Biggerstaff had a firearm, because when they went to his house, he still had a gun cabinet. Do you recall testifying to that a moment ago?
Yes.
John Biggerstaff had an old, rusted out wooden gun cabinet that couldn't even shut on his back porch, filled with garden tools. That's what you found at John Biggerstaff's house, correct?
Correct.
But the state, you didn't offer any of that information. It was just that an old gun cabinet. And Mr. Biggerstaff couldn't own scratch that last question. Mr. Biggerstaff couldn't own firearms, correct?
He was not legally allowed to have a firearm.
And that, the state of disrepair of the gun cabinet that they just asked you about was consistent with a gun cabinet that hadn't seen a firearm in about 8 years, right?
I have no way of telling that.
But it wouldn't surprise you if a gun hadn't been in there in 8 years, right?
I can't say.
People don't keep guns on their back porch, do they, unlocked?
Generally, no.
Yeah, generally no, right? And did you find a gun in the cabinet, or did you find garden tools?
There was garden tools in the locker.
Okay. So now let's talk about the license plate reader that the state asked you about. You're right. It didn't have a picture of Henry Tenon in the car, right?
No, it did not.
You just used that information to determine that Henry Tenon likely could be in the car, and then you used the Google information to determine that we do believe it was Henry Tenon, right?
Yes.
You're not going to look at this jury and say it's not Henry Tenon, right? You believe Henry Tenon was in that vehicle.
Yes.
You just don't have a picture of him.
Correct.
But what license plate readers also provide is additional information that a vehicle was in the area, correct?
Yes.
And in the area is an area of Nocatee where there were lots of businesses, correct?
I'm honestly not familiar with that exact area.
You know that's what the gymnastics area was, right?
I know that Nocatee generally has lots of businesses.
Yeah, thank you. And you knew the time that the blue truck was there, correct?
Yes.
So that gives you an investigatory lead that you could then go and determine if there was any surveillance that could put Henry Tenon or Mario Fernandez in that blue truck, correct?
I don't understand your question, sorry.
You could take the location of the vehicle and the time of the vehicle, looking at State's Exhibit 210 that they just put into evidence, and you could say, we know he's in this area at this time, let's go see if there's any surveillance that we can now put Mr. Fernandez in that vehicle by other businesses with that information, correct?
There were no indications that he stopped and patronized a business in the area.
So you just didn't do it? You didn't ask any
That's not what I said.
Did you ask one single business if they had any surveillance of a blue F1 Ford 50 around the time of January 29th in Nocatee?
No, I did not.
Today, going back to the gravel lot thing, you never saw the vehicle stop in the gravel lot, correct?
No, I did not.
So you don't know if it just kept going. Even if it pulled into the gravel lot for a second and you happen to be right in your speculation, you don't know that it stopped there, right?
I can't say how long it did or didn't stop there for.
And just so we're clear, the gravel lot is a children's school, correct?
Yes.
This is 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, right?
Yes.
A random pickup truck sitting right in front of a children's school stopped for 2 hours is the length of time that truck would have been, that vehicle would have been there. Not a single person reported a suspicious vehicle inside of a school parking lot?
That area is actually very dark. It's on the side of the school. I don't know that you could probably pull in there and no one would even know that the truck was there.
Or someone could walk by and see a suspicious truck in front of the gravel lot in front of a children's school, right?
On the side.
On the side of the children's school, right?
Yes.
To get into Pablo Hamlet, you have to pass that road, correct?
Yes.
And no one reported a suspicious vehicle outside of a child's school at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night ever to you that entire night, correct?
That's correct.
And the other thing that the jury should know is that the gravel lot is about 400 or 500 yards closer to the police station from where it would be tucked in at Pablo Hamlet, correct?
I don't understand the question, sorry.
How far is the gravel lot from the police station?
It's fairly close.
So the truck moved closer. This truck was just involved in an ambush murder. We know that it hung out at the Pablo Hamlet for about 20 minutes prior to the homicide. We know this time it backed in and it pulled right out. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
And your speculation is that it pulled closer to the police station.
It pulled off the road
Closer to the police station.
by 25, 30 feet, yes.
You think it's 25, 30 feet from the cul-de-sac at Pablo Hamlet to where you think that car pulled out? You think that's 30 feet?
I don't know that I'm estimating, but it's not very far at all.
We saw it on video. That whole time the car drives out, you're telling me in this jury that you think that's 30 feet.
I don't know exactly how far it is, but it's not very far at all.
Nonetheless, you will agree at least that it's closer to the police station.
It is physically closer to the police station.
And it's also closer to a major intersection, 15th and Cheddar, correct?
Yes.
And then lastly, on redirect, this morning you felt comfortable talking about the January 29th, and when Mr. Fernandez goes to Potomac, you were able to say that you felt comfortable saying they could have been there at the same time. Do you recall saying that?
Yes.
Those are your words, could have?
Yes.
Because you can't say that they were there at the same time, right?
Their devices were, two devices that belonged to those people were there at generally the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Let's break it down. Let's start with what we can agree on. When Mr. Tenon comes back after this dry run, you can say that for a period of time, the device of Henry Tenon was at Potomac when the device of Mr. Fernandez was at Potomac. You testified to that, right?
Can you show me the slide again?
Sure. Ms. Day, can you pull up January 29th slides? And let's go backwards. Let's start with the return.
Do you mind if I use the restroom while you do that?
Sure.
Okay. Members of the jury will take 5 minutes and we'll return back. All right, please let the record reflect that the jury has left the courtroom. Same rules apply, detective. Court's in recess.
Your Honor, I would like to proffer a recross outside the presence of the jury when Mr. Dreicer's finished.
Okay. Me redirect, redirect, double redirect.
Yes.
All right.
Re-squared.